On behalf of faculty, family, friends, and the graduating class of 2015, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, who has served as a Director of Education for the Apprentice School at Newport News Shipbuilding since 2010. His career began in 1973 as an apprentice shipfitter. As time progressed, he became supervisor, general foreman, superintendent, and department of head dimensional control, shipfitters, and welders. He graduated from the Leadership Institute of Virginia Peninsula and served as an architect of the company's hourly leadership development program, and served as the Virginia Community College System representative and executive lead to Habitat for Humanity. He holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from St. Leo University and a master's degree in education and human development from George Washington University. Not only is he a director of education for the Apprentice School, but he also serves on the board of directors for Thomas Nelson Community College and the Greater Peninsula Workforce Investment Board. So without any further wait, it's my honor to introduce to the class of 2015 a fellow hardworking and dedicated individual. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Everett Jordan.
Good evening. Now, I'm sure folks from the Northern Neck and Middle Peninsula can do better than that. Good evening.
Good evening.
If you can promise my wife and I that your weather is always like this, we're moving this weekend. Thank you, Brittany, for that introduction. Thank you, Dr. Crowther, faculty, board members, and distinguished platform guests. And graduates, most importantly, thank you and congratulations to you. I'm humbled to be with you this evening and to celebrate your accomplishments. Your vision and hard work have paid off, and now you've reached this personal milestone in life, a milestone that confirms your resolve to better yourself, to take charge of your life, and to define your future. And we shouldn't overlook your family and friends who encouraged you when you needed that boost. How about a big round of applause for them? In late 2009, when I learned that I would become the next director of the Apprentice School, several weeks later, I received a phone call, and it was an invitation to speak at the first commencement that I'd ever spoken at. And I will tell you that I procrastinated for what seemed like 2 months. I was a bit overwhelmed, and I just couldn't get up enough nerve to pick the phone up and tell that college president that I would be happy to do so. And a few weeks ago, when Dr. Crowther contacted me, it wasn't the best of days. I was emotionally spent, physically exhausted, and my plate, frankly, was full. I received her message that afternoon, and frankly, I expelled a deep breath. I took all of a few minutes to decide that I had to return her phone call and accept this invitation. Now, you might be sitting there this evening wondering why, with so much going on, that I would accept an invitation to come and be with you this evening. Well, first of all, those of you that know Dr. Crowther probably agree with me. She's a hard lady to say no to. But in my heart, the primary reason for accepting her invitation is that I relate to you personally. I understand your sacrifices to get here. In fact, would you be surprised if I told you that it was just 12 years ago that I finished my associate degree? And this evening, as Director of Education for a Fortune 500 company and the internationally recognized Newport News Shipbuilding Apprentice School, I'm humbled and honored to be a small part of your ceremony. This is truly an important moment in your life, and I'm extremely proud to celebrate it with you. However, as an educator, I'm not going to pass on one last opportunity to give you an assignment. In preparation, I'll ask that you listen for key words. I'd like for you to listen for a metaphor and words such as adapt, inspire, and change. And at the end, we'll review. As I contemplated my comments today, I remembered faculty and administrators who influenced and encouraged me when I was unsure. Remember those instructors who inspired you? Yes, they often moved at lightning speed. And if your instructors were like mine, they gave you a whole lot of work to do. But obviously you got through it, you adapted, you evolved, and like me at times, you probably missed your family and your friends and gave up a lot of weekends for assignments and exams. But in retrospect, aren't those experiences a part of education? Really, they're a part of life. I want you to think about this for a moment. Multitasking, time management, teamwork, and product delivery. Speaking as a major employer, those skill sets are very, very important. And because of your success at Rappahannock Community College, you have successfully demonstrated your ability in those areas. And my advice to you this evening is to be absolutely sure to include those skills on any job, resume, and application in your future. And this evening, I'm sure that faculty and administrators made an important impression on you as well. Dr. Crowder mentioned that previously. And you know, I think it's so important, the contributions that the faculty and staff, administrators, and every employee of this wonderful college makes, that I'd like to ask them once again to stand and be recognized. Dr. Crowther, you must do it all alone.
I know.
Come on here. Where's the faculty and staff? Thank you. You know, as I thought back about my early years when I was in high school and graduating, I wasn't a strong student. I think mediocre would have probably been a better description. I had competing interests, and they hindered my academic performance. One happened to be the local fire department that was located just down the street from me. The other was a young lady, now my wife, who happens to be with me this evening. And I'll let you guys decide which was my priority. My grades should have been better, yet my instructors never gave up on me. Isn't it interesting that at key moments in our lives, a person whom we respect, like a professor, a family member, or a friend, can step in and provide that moment of inspiration? All of a sudden, we regain control, and the murkiness of the future becomes clearer. Each time we adapt, we learn that life is full of interesting twists and turns. And change, if we are to be successful, is inevitable. Can you imagine yourself in a canoe traveling down a fast-flowing river in Virginia? Can you imagine doing that without a paddle? The river will take you wherever it flows. Direction and speed of the canoe is at the whim of forces outside of your control. Off to the side, you see a curious inlet, but you can't get over there to explore it. In the distance, you see an obstacle in the river that you can't avoid. And in front of you, there's a favorable opportunity. But someone else is going to reap the rewards because you can't speed up. The river is time, always moving forward. The canoe is your place in time, and the paddle is your control over pace, direction, and the ability to adapt. This metaphor reminds us that outcomes in life depend upon our actions to take control today and not just go with the flow. Just recently, I heard a pastor say, "No one steps in the same river twice. Life is continually changing." So let's remember the paddle. Your degree or certificate this evening is your paddle. It's your means of adapting. It's been said that it's not the biggest, the fastest, nor the quickest that survives. It's the one that changes or adapts the quickest. Looking back, I'll be honest in saying that I really didn't have a vision of where I wanted to go. The only certainty was that I didn't want to go to college, and I thought of the apprentice school as an alternative. Even 20 years later, once I completed the apprentice school, I had no idea that one day I would be a college graduate with an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, and a master's degree. For someone who didn't want to go to college, that's a fair amount of education. I guess my message really is that we never know what lies around the bend. As stream flows, are you willing to take that chance? In more direct terms, are you ready to take that difficult job assignment or try something that is uncomfortable? I hope the answer is yes, because projections indicate that 1.5 million jobs will be available in Virginia over the next few years. And many sectors, such as health and human services, will even see double-digit growth. By the way, a large number of those opportunities will require a certificate or an associate's degree. That equates to tremendous opportunity as well as career advancement. So in my mind, your timing this evening is excellent. Recently, I had the good fortune to spend some time with several graduates of your class, and it was humbling to me. Take Anna Burnett, for example, a mother of 3, grandmother of 13. Her oldest grandchild is in college. Her youngest grandchild is 2. Anna shared with me that she dropped out of school at 17 and never, ever thought she would have a chance to go to college. This evening, she receives her associate's degree while working 3 jobs. Then there's Shelby Miles. Shelby shared with me that she had some challenges early in life with learning. Today, she has all of the confidence in the world. She is a member of the Honor Society and planning to attend the Old Dominion University Satellite Program to become a teacher. And as she shared with me, she's getting married this summer. And Clayton Hogg. Clayton came to Rappahannock Community College for the opportunity. Clayton talked about the value of a community college education and being the first in his family to attend. He's even done some work at the college and plans to transfer to Old Dominion University in the fall and apply to the Naval ROTC program. I'm convinced that the lives of Anna, Shelby, and Clayton have been enriched, and I know that yours have as well. Now you understand why I wanted to be here this evening. Remember the change in adapting that I mentioned? As a class, I have so much respect for you. Just guessing, I suspect that most of you are holding down jobs. Many are raising families. What a wonderful tribute to you and your hard work and determination. And today, many of you are paving the way by becoming the first in your family to graduate from college with a degree. If you are first in your family, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. At Newport News Shipbuilding, our processes and products become much more complex. Having an educated workforce is essential if we are to succeed another 129 years. And our employees are responding. Today, many like you are attending college and continuing their education. And across Virginia, thousands of students, families, and businesses are touched by Rappahannock Community College each year. A college with a service area of over 2,000 square miles, a college that provides your first 2 years of education for a fraction of what you would spend at any of Virginia's public institutions. I have a favorite saying by B.C. Forbes, founder of one of the country's most prominent business magazines. Think not of yourself as the architect of your career, but as a sculptor. Expect to have to do a lot of hard hammering and chiseling and scraping and polishing. And my friends, that's exactly what you're doing. That's the beauty of education. We don't know what's around the bend, but I know that education changed my life and it can change yours. Remember, life will be full of twists and turns. Those of you who prepare will find success. Don't be resistant to change. Embrace it. Exude confidence. Be a success seeker. Chart your course. Take command of your life. Congratulations and good luck in the journey ahead.